And one thing, this is more than a survey. This actually measures what people are truly doing. And so if we look at our millennial activity, Under Armour, they've just been on this stock for a while in terms of selling. Nike's kind of newer to the list that the millennial age group was selling overall. You also see Chipotle, they've been a buyer of that stock and now turned to sellers. So as hopefully taking some profits as the stock has gone up. And the interesting thing to me is millennials still very interested in the marijuana stocks. Aurora Cannabis and Canopy Growth Company. And then also Tesla continues to be a favorite of the millennials. We're not necessarily seeing that in our overall population, but the millennial population is still, and we've talked about this a few times, still a very strong believer in what Tesla has to offer.
Who's usually right? Millennials, overall clients? What's the best gauge of who's accurate?
That's a tough question because the millennials are included in our overall client base. What I will say is that if you look at this month, millennials measuring January, certainly the cannabis stocks almost all doubled in price, so up about 40%, so they've done well. I do think that just as Apple perhaps has sort of a magical thing for many people who are baby boomers, I think Tesla is starting to get that for millennials overall, starting to be a true market barometer of how they feel about things. They, again, believing in what the CEO is doing, what the company is offering overall. So it'll be interesting if that continues going forward, as Tesla, has had obviously some issues over the last few months.
What about overall the assets under management that you have from millennials? Is that pot of money growing very fast?
It's growing. It's very interesting. It is starting to grow every single year, which is great. And people, I think, as they get a little bit older, start to take this a little bit more seriously, which obviously we're doing a lot of work on to help people realize the importance of this. And I think there's something that millennials don't trust the markets, et cetera. I don't know that I necessarily agree with that. We see our millennial clients very involved. I think the bigger thing is as they put off some of the decisions that maybe their parents made at a younger age, like families and houses, et cetera. Those are the type of things that really suddenly get you more interested in investing. And I think that's a big part of it.
So overall sentiment, how much has it improved from the end of last year into the new year?
Well, interesting is actually this month is the fourth month in a row it's gone down a little bit. Our clients, I will say this, they're net buyers of the first time in 3 months of equities, very small, but what they are buying is much more cautious. They're not buying stocks that have any type of higher beta, and I think that's the really interesting thing about this. People want to be involved in the market, but they want to be involved in, I don't want to say as riskless a way as possible, but fixed income and index-based ETFs, as well as the stocks that tend to trade very highly correlated to the S&P 500, are what they're most interested in right now.